Good afternoon, sixth grade parents. This is Mrs. Keys. I wanted to take a moment to talk to you about what the at-home option is going to look like for you and your student as we move into next week. I have a few things that I want to share with you, and I will be brief. And I would like it if your student could please be watching this with you so that we are all on the same page of what is expected of them and that we can minimize the amount of confusion. Okay, so first of all, I wanted to talk a little bit about our schedule as we move forward. So I emailed you last week this document that has the new schedule starting at 8:50 all the way to 3 o'clock. We are going to start our day with our morning meeting, which is going to be a little bit different than what we've done during distance learning. Your student is going to be responsible for doing a few things independently. Okay, so part of the at-home option is the understanding that there is going to be some independent work that your student will be responsible for, that will be graded and will be needed to be turned in on Friday with the rest of their assignments. Okay, these are things that I will give you lesson plans for, but I will not be there to facilitate the learning. That's something they're going to be able to do on their own. Some important things to know, however, is that there are 4 scheduled Zoom calls for your 6th grade student. Now, as of right now, they only have 3, but we are moving into this different section, and so they are going to have 4. They're going to have a math call, which Mrs. Friesen would like to be mandatory. This is so that your student can listen in to the lecture and the discussion that they're going to be having in class and be able to ask questions through the Zoom meeting if they have them. That way they're better equipped to do their work, their classwork and their homework. So the way this is going to work is that the teachers, Mrs. Friesen, Mrs. Charette, and myself are going to have our computers open, much like we do now, next to us while we're teaching. So we'll be able to see the virtual students as well as the students that are physically in our classroom. So if there is a question, we'll be able to address that question from the virtual students, and they can also hear. They won't really be able to see the other students because the camera will be turned facing towards the teacher most of the time, but they can hear any other questions that students have. There won't be a chance for them to be part of the actual discussion, but answering questions will definitely be a priority for us, okay? So that will be on while the teacher is teaching, and then that way the student has some information that they can use to then do their independent work independently. So the math call is going to be the first call. Again, I'm just going off of this schedule here. The green is the math. And to be able to access the math call, they have to just do the same thing they used to be doing. None of the Zoom codes are going to change. I'll repeat, none of the Zoom codes or passwords are going to change. The only thing that's going to change is when they are scheduled by the teacher, okay? So math is going to be now from 9 to 9:45. The next call that they will be responsible for tuning into is the history call. Now that will be with me, and there's a short recess that the students in class have. And then their third call is going to be their language arts call with Mrs. Charette. So they'll tune into that. And the last one is going to be science. Science is going to be from 11:30 to 12:15. Now, it's very important for your student to be able to log in when stated in the lesson plans so that they don't miss important information that we're going to be teaching. If I'm going to be lecturing or discussing items that are not in their textbooks, I would like them to please tune in so that they don't miss important stuff. If the assignment is a textbook assignment and it's something they can do independently, I will make sure and mark that on the lesson plans so that they can opt out of the call for that day, okay? Reading and writing is a class that we have after lunch, which starts at 1. The reading and writing class starts at 1. There is going to be no Zoom call available for that class, but your student will be responsible for turning in work and completing assignments that will be listed in the lesson plans. okay? And the same is for Bible and art. Bible, they're going to be working in their Bible workbooks. So for that, all that I will assign in the lesson plans is, for example, their numbered lessons. So I'll say lesson 1, complete the lesson, and answer the questions that pertain to the lesson. And they will just kind of work through the workbook. That's what we would be doing in class. There's a little bit of introduction that I do at the beginning of each lesson, but other than that, the students in class normally work independent on those lessons, so they're not really going to be missing much if they're not in school for that. So those 3 subjects are things that they're not going to get any instruction from me other than what is in the lesson plans. And I'll explain that in a little bit. Okay, so please make sure that you print this out and that you have it available for your student so that they can follow this new schedule. We will not be following the old Zoom schedule. So if they try to log into, let's say, math as their second call, they won't be able to do that, and they'll end up being in a history call, or they will be in a completely different call. So please make sure that the at-home students follow this new schedule that I sent and that I will send again, and I will have one of these printed inside of their folders when you come and pick stuff up tomorrow, okay? What I am doing to make sure that your child stays on track is that I'm printing out the lesson plans that are available for you to see on fax, okay? So as we fill these out, as the teachers fill these out, there is basically a sheet for every single subject so that your student can stay on track. These are double-sided, by the way. So each sheet has a different subject, and it's separated by days. So your student will have one of these every single week with all the week's work. They are welcome to work ahead if they want to. However, if it's math or something that they need lecture notes for, they won't be able to do that. But all the other subjects that they can work ahead in, that's okay. Encourage them to do whatever feels right for them, okay? So this is going to be included in every single folder on Fridays. And then any worksheets that your child is going to need throughout the week, okay? Another important aspect of this packet is that every single week your child is going to receive this index card, and this is for them to be able to take their Bible memory verse quiz. So every Friday we take a Bible memory verse quiz on our Bible verse that we've been working on throughout the week. It's a memory verse quiz, so students are supposed to memorize the verse and be able to write the entire verse down, including the citation of where it is in the Bible. And that is how I grade or assess them on that Bible verse. Now, I know they can't be here, so I would really appreciate your cooperation in this and just basically give them this index card at some point, maybe on Thursday night or Friday morning before you head in for the drop-off, and just watch them write it without any other papers or anything around them, and just let them know you have to take your Bible verse quiz. Go ahead and write it down on this index card. We can put it back in your folder. No big deal. So again, it's supposed to be a memory verse quiz, so they were supposed to have memorized it through the week. We've been doing that all these weeks since school started, so they know what they are supposed to do and what they're not supposed to do on the index card. Okay, so that's going to be included in every packet. So all of this is going to be put in these folders. If you have younger students, you're very familiar with these. These are extremely durable. So inside of this folder, these are going to have the students' names and numbers, and all of the packets and all of the worksheets and all of the lesson plans are going to be put in their folders every single week. And these folders are going to be stored in a filing bin by the front office on a red cart. So what you have to do, you're not going to be able to come into the classroom because there's going to be students here. So you just basically go to the front office, you find your file, you pick up the new folder, and you drop off the old folder. So each student will have 2 of these, okay? One that they're picking up and the one that they're dropping off all their work in. So this is how your student is going to turn in their work. So included in this week's folder is going to be the lesson plans, all the worksheets, a copy of their schedule and their Bible workbook. So it's going to be a little bit thicker this week, but next week it'll be a little bit less full. So next Friday, what you will do is you will come in and to the front office, your student will have all of their completed work in this packet. You will just kind of switch out, drop this one off, and get the new one. And then I will go at the end of my day, pick up all the folders, and then grade everything for you, okay? The only thing that's not going to be turned in are their mindset journals, which look like this. Okay, they have this big light bulb and book in the front. Now, these are things that the students write in every single day. So I want them to keep these with them. I can't collect them and then give them back to them because they're not going to be here. So if you could please make sure that at the end of the week or whenever they have finished writing in all the prompts, that you take a photo of both sides because it's a weekly page. So we have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and an extra section. I need a picture of both pages completed, emailed to me by Friday at 3 p.m. Okay, so this is part of their reading and writing grade. And if you could have that to me by 3 p.m., that would be really helpful and I'd really appreciate it. And then any other inserts or things that they've cut and glued into any of their notebooks. So they have a science notebook. They have a history notebook. I think those are the only two that we do this in. So any assignments that have been cut and glued and written on, I'm gonna need photos of those along with the mindset journal pictures. So that's the only way that I'm gonna be able to grade those if I have those pictures, okay? And it's just a simple picture. As long as I can see the writing and I'm able to read it through the photo, that would suffice. All right. Okay, Mr. Jackson sent out an email on September 30th with 6 different attachments at the bottom. So if you have any further questions about what it's going to look like when you come back or certain expectations that we might have of the at-home students, then please refer to that email. And if not, just reach out to me. I'm always available for you and I can answer any questions. Just know that I won't be reading my email during school, obviously. I look at it briefly during lunch to make sure there isn't any emergency or important information. And then at the end of my day before I leave, and then in the morning. So if you have something that you need to talk to me about and it's like 5 o'clock, just know I won't see it until the next morning when I come into school, all right? Whenever you are ready to come back, we're gonna try and make that as seamless as possible. And the classroom is already set up for the entire class, so there isn't going to be any moving around. Then your student will just come in and we will be able to have a spot for them and they can just be phased right into the regular day. And I just want you to know and put your mind at ease that it's completely okay that your child is at home. I want you to make sure that you have peace with your decision and that your child is equipped to do whatever they need to do. Please email me with any questions, any concerns, and I hope that this video was helpful. I'm sorry for my pausing and my getting everything together. I just wanted to make sure I did this for you through a video as opposed to an email, because sometimes things get a little bit confusing while you're reading, and all this information is really important for me to make sure that you have. So I'm going to stop, and I hope that you all have a wonderful evening. And if I see you tomorrow during the drop-off and you have any other questions, please let me know. Otherwise, you'll be picking up the first folder here in class tomorrow, okay? Because it's a regular pickup drop-off day and I don't have students in my classroom. So this is going to be the first one you're going to pick up tomorrow. The next Friday is when you will be at the office picking it up from the filing box that you will have there, okay? God bless you all. And I hope to see you all very soon. Bye. Thank you.